This week's short tip is to... What did I say it was? Hey family.
Hi guys.
It's Tuesday, so it's time for another short tip. This week's short tip is to make sure you are speaking the right language.
That's right.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about the 5 love languages. You remember the book by Gary Chapman? What are those 5 love languages? So the first one is acts of service,
Quality time,
physical touch,
words of affirmation,
and gifts. So those are the 5 love languages that he talks about in the book, and those are the ways that we relate to our spouse or whomever. Those are the ways that we feel loved. For instance, mine is acts of service. I love it when Ollie does stuff for me and I don't need to ask. Stuff that he knows that I like, or stuff that he knows that I normally do that needs to get done. For example, if I have to go into the office to work, sometimes I don't, I'm rushing around trying to get ready, and he automatically puts my laptop in the car. We ride into work together. He puts the laptop in the car. Just something I don't need to think about. I love when he does that. That's my love language.
Now mine we talked about last week. We did a video last week entitled Increasing the Love Hormone, and I want you to check that out, definitely. Mine is physical touch. There's just something about it. I love when she puts her hands on me. That's a good way to put it, right? Seriously though, it's important for you to find out what your spouse's love language is. Think of it like this. Let's say you're somewhere and everyone is speaking a different language, and you're speaking English or whatever your native language is. You don't understand what they're saying. They don't understand what you're saying. Imagine what the language barrier would be. Imagine how difficult it would be to communicate and get your point across, or to be able to collaborate and do things effectively and get the job done. It's the same way in marriage. You need to know what your spouse's love language is. If you are speaking something different than what they're speaking, you have what I call a love barrier.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
so it's important for you to, one, discover what that love language is. You can have a conversation, talk about it, find out from your spouse what their love language is. And then the second thing is you need to intentionally speak that love language consistently.
Right.
It is very, very important. Would you agree?
Absolutely. It's very important. It doesn't make sense for me to speak the love language that is not your love language.
Right.
If I give you gifts all of the time, although you may appreciate those gifts, you don't relate to it as much as physical touch. The physical touch is what makes you feel the most loved. Like for me, I love gifts as well, a lot. But it's not my love language. So the one that I relate to the most and the one that makes me feel the most loved is your acts of service. So it doesn't mean that you don't relate to or like any of the other love languages, but find the one that you most relate to and communicate that to your spouse.
And that's all we have for you. We want you to make sure you are speaking the correct language.
That's right.
And you're speaking it consistently and intentionally.
That's right. And if you already do that, then just maybe increase the love language this week.
Excellent. That's all we have for you today. God bless.
God bless.